Hello there, thanks for tuning in. Today I'm talking to you if you're a first-time home buyer. This is such an exciting time in your life. It can also be a little bit scary because there's just so many things that you have to go through and so many things that you have to know. So I'm going to try to make it a little bit easier and break some things down for you. The first thing is hopefully you've put some money aside in your savings. And if you haven't started doing that, go ahead and get that started. Most banks will set it up for you to do that automatically and just go ahead and move a certain amount or certain dollar amount or percentage each time you make a deposit into a savings account for you. And that will be money that you wouldn't touch. Next, I would say be aware of your credit. All three credit bureaus will provide you annually a free copy of your credit report. So when you get that, take a look at it. Make sure there's nothing on there that shouldn't be there, that isn't really your debt, and make sure that you are keeping current on paying all of your bills. It's going to be really important. And when we look at loans, and any lender for anything, whether it's a car or anything else, is going to be looking at your credit score and your timeliness of your payments. So you want to make sure that you've well-established credit history and that you're staying caught up and making your payments on time. The next thing to know is that we will be asking you for some documents, and nobody likes doing that, but if you're planning ahead of time, go ahead and have these things ready, such as your driver's license, bank statements, wage statements, and if you receive any income other than a W-2 income, we will probably need 2 years of your federal tax returns, only the federal tax returns. So just have those things handy when we get ready and we need them and ask for them. You can easily scan those and provide those to us or drop them off at our office. You want to make sure that you're working with a lender that you trust, that you are comfortable with, that you feel like you know well and they know what you're looking for and what you need. They really typically will come through your realtor. They usually will introduce you to someone, or maybe you've met your lender first. If you can meet your lender in person, that's great. With COVID and things that are going on around right now, a lot of what we do is via the telephone, which is still fine. But if you can get in and meet your lender in person, that's always a good idea to have a face to go with the name. So one of the biggest things when you're looking for your first home is going to be your location, because that is the one thing that you can never change. You can make the house prettier, you can add things to it, but you can't change where it is. So my dad told me long ago, buy the cheapest house in the best location. I've always tried to stick to that rule, and I think it's a good one to follow even still today. In all likelihood, you will be working with a realtor, and certainly as a first-time home buyer, a realtor is a great resource person for you because they can provide you information on getting inspections done, and there's what's called a due diligence period, which is a time period that you have an opportunity to back out of the contract without having to proceed with a purchase if you find that there is a problem. So you'll want to make sure that any inspections that your realtor recommends for you, you have those done and on time, and that gives you a good picture of what you're getting yourself into. Stay on budget. Don't go looking at houses that are way above what you can afford. Even if you think you might be able to stretch it, you don't want to find that you can't go out to dinner when you'd like to. So really stick within that budget. You don't want to go fall in love with a house that you just can't afford, and then everything else you see that's in your price range, well, you just can't afford it. So it puts you in a bad spot. So stick in your budget with what you can afford, and know that your first home is probably not going to be your last one. So pick what works for you now, knowing that later on you're going to be building equity in that home, and you can use that equity to move into your next home. When you sell it, you'll typically make a profit and roll those funds into your next one. So getting to the finish line, you're getting all done, you've made an offer, you're going to closing, you're signing lots of documents. Don't be scared. It's not really that big a process anymore. It used to take forever, and now it's about 15 minutes. So closings go pretty quick. You'll get your keys, you'll get into your new home. Here's one thing that I always would advise people to be careful of, and that is we get into a new space. Maybe we've come from a one-bedroom apartment and now we've got 3 bedrooms, and we feel like we have to rush out and buy new furniture and all of these kinds of things. And so avoid that temptation. You don't have to fill up every space immediately. Save some space, save some money more importantly. You keep paying your bills on time throughout the process. And a really important thing I left out a little bit earlier, but when you're in the process of obtaining a loan, don't go out and purchase furniture on credit or buy a car or anything else that might affect your credit, because we check it beforehand. We also check it again right before closing. So you want to keep your credit in good shape. Hold off on any purchases until after your closing has been finished. I hope you'll find these tips helpful and watch more of our videos. Thank you.